And he can't get the first one.
Well, and you talk about Hill defensively now. 6'3", athletic, long arms, extremely smart, knows how to avoid being screened, never gives up on plays. And, you know, from his time with the Spurs and now Coach Vogel in Indy, he has the outstanding technique to complement those physical tools, and that makes him one of the best defenders at his position.
And he's good on the second.
And you know the other thing I like about George Hill, an excellent caretaker of the ball. He may not create a ton of assists, but he gets them into their offense and really values the possession.
Now here's Walker. Off with the layup.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Hornets trail by 4. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. Seal with a screen on West. Stevenson drives in, and he jams it with authority. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
And the Pacers call time here. Lance Stevenson, the all-time leading scorer in the history of high school basketball in New York State. And that's something when you consider, Clark, the great players who came before him.
Yeah, to be at the top of that list says a lot about his high school career. He actually led Lincoln High School to an unprecedented 4 straight city basketball championships. There's a reason his nickname is Born Ready.
Here is Watson after the basket by Charlotte. Shot clock at 6. For 3. And Indiana, another 3.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
And for Stevenson, despite the high school accolades, questions about eligibility and off-the-court issues caused many colleges not to recruit him. And after one season at Cincinnati, he slid to the second round of the draft, but he's really become quite a player.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, gentlemen, the Pacers head coach Frank Vogel has helped turn this team into a powerhouse. He's had a reputation for positivity, lifting his players up and boosting their confidence. As Paul George put it, coach has no shame in calling you out. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get embarrassed. No one wants that, Kevin.
He'll call you out, Doris, that's for sure. Thanks.
He's a grinder. Love what he does under the offensive boards, really bringing energy and life to his team.
Hibbert with the screen for Hill. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And now a look at George Hill. Some of the numbers for him. Solid year underway for him. He's averaging 15 points a game, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And you really can't find much fault with him as far as his performances lately.
Yeah, he's been very, very dependable, steady, doing pretty much everything they've asked of him.
Charlotte has gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them.
But for Lance, you know, he fell into the right situation in Indiana. A team that was patient, worked with him to help develop his talent. Paul George is in that starring role there for the Pacers for the foreseeable future. And I think Lance perhaps wanted to move on to Charlotte to see how he could handle being the main guy on the team.
Indiana making some changes. Mahimi's checked in for Hibbert, for Chris Copeland. And it's C.J. Miles in for C.J. Watson. Williams kicks to Stevenson. Maxfield sets a screen for Stevenson. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Walker goes in. On the wing, Stevenson. Clock at 6. Charlotte needs to get a shot. Here's the 3. And Walker gets it to go on the assist from Kid Gilchrist. And it's 7 points now in the game for Walker. Indiana trailing here. Outside Hill. Here's West. Indiana again missing. Charlotte has gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. And Stevenson kicks to Walker. Back to Stevenson. Stevenson right side. The kick out to Walker. This is to Stevenson. Outside Kid Gilchrist. West with the block. And the basket by Max Seals. Max Seals got his first points of the game.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Now, here is Hill. Right now averaging 15 points a game. West, right side. Looking to end the run. That's good. West has got his second bucket tonight. They play the clock right, Steve. They can go 2 for 1.
Yeah, just have to time it right. Make sure you work the clock correctly. You get 2 possessions out of this.
Walker against Hill. Williams with a clean look. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got 3 assists in the game. Pacers trail by 4. West a screen on Walker. And it's Hill penetrating. And good on the basket. Book it. Hill's got 5 now.
That's just a case of 2 teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Hill against Walker. Maxiel with a screen on Hill. Walker loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Walker's got 7 now in this quarter. Here's Hill. He has 5. With 4 seconds on the clock. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Hornets on top. They lead by 4. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Gentlemen, I'm here with Roy Hibbert. And Roy, what do you think the team needs to do coming up in the second half?
I think we need to take care of the ball on the offensive end. Get back, but got to do a better job of just controlling the pace of the game. You know, you give a little bit of leeway, but I think we can do a better job in that aspect.
Roy, as always, we appreciate the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Lance Stevenson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
Charlotte leading by 4. Well, you wondered how things would go for the Pacers after they had a hiccup midseason. Had to call a players-only meeting.
And did so very close to the playoffs, Kevin. This team struggled because of its youth in handling the extra scrutiny and the burden of expectations. And it took them a while to kind of figure it out and weren't quite as good as they wanted to be during the playoffs.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. Setting the floor for the Hornets. Stevenson is the 2 with NKG the 3. Jefferson is out there with Williams. And it's Walker in at the point. Well, the Hornets shooting around 41% on the night.
And you can see how it affected the team early on in the playoffs. The Hawks took them to 7 games. They had some trouble with Washington. Definitely seemed like they had some issues to figure out.
A shot by Williams, no good.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, because you know if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Pushing it up. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Stolen by Stevenson. He kicks to Walker. He feeds it to Jefferson. Outside, Walker. 6 to shoot. Williams sets a screen for Walker. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Walker's got 11 points.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Here's Hibbert. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Roy Hibbert, one of the biggest players in the league, Clark. 7'2" last season, bulking up to 290 pounds.
Yeah, he wanted to get stronger to better hold his position in the low post. And for a good portion of the season, he did that. Then he fell back into some old habits. You know, when he first joined the Pacers, the coach had him slimmed down to 250 pounds because the type of game the Pacers were playing was a little different. But he's a player who's best playing to his strength. And we mean that literally.
And for Hibbert, it's amazing how far he's come with his conditioning. You hear stories from when he arrived at Georgetown, couldn't do a push-up, couldn't jump rope, said he could barely run. So to get where he is now just took a tremendous amount of work.
And Hibbert hits them both.
And for Hibbert at Georgetown, you know, they had him doing everything from weights to dancing in an effort to develop his coordination and core strength. And he even embraced MMA training in the NBA. So he's really left no stone unturned in working to develop his body and his game. And you can see the fruits of that work and how he's performed over the last couple of years.
And the basket by Stevenson.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Pacers trail by 4. Hill passes to West. Here's Copeland. The shot's good on the assist by West. Copeland's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
And it's Walker penetrating. Outside Williams. Screen by Jefferson. Here's Stevenson. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, breakthrough season for Lance Stevenson, a former 2nd-round pick out of Cincinnati. He was an all-star candidate. Did not make it, but was really close. He improved in just about every category as well.
And Lance Stevenson was one of the most improved players in the league last year, certainly worthy of all-star consideration. He upped his rate of scoring, assists, rebounding. He was fantastic as a rebounding guard. At 6'5", 230 pounds, he knows how to use that frame to get to the glass. He's gotten to the line much more recently, shooting a better percentage from the field. He clearly is one of the up-and-coming players in the league.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And for Stevenson, you look at his career numbers, Steve, he's dramatically improved his field goal and 3-point percentages pretty much every season.
Yeah, he just has a great love for the game, Kevin. A flair for the dramatic on the court, but most importantly, the dedication to strive for greatness.
The kick out to Walker. And the Hornets miss again.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. And with this opportunity, we can show you this season's top shot blocking teams. The Hornets 4th.
Kevin, this is a phenomenal defensive team. Not just good, they are excellent. They've made an awful lot of outstanding defensive plays. They're on the same page, they're aggressive, they're focused, and they pay attention to detail. That's why they keep teams from getting good shots in the paint.
Now here's Walker. He's got 11. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Stevenson.